letting people know, like, now I can explain decisions I made with a clear head. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then, I really didn't know shit. I was just trying shit out, so I shouldn't have been so vocal about it.
Iman Shumpert had to make a one-time 7-figure payment to Teyana. What? That's crazy. What is that about, roundabout? What do you think?
$1 million or more.
This would be like my healing chapter. I was right about that. A lot of wounds are being closed.
What happened inside that courtroom between Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert was nothing short of unbelievable. It was the kind of moment that silences a room and lingers long after it ends. One number alone froze everyone in place: fans, reporters, lawyers, and even the judge himself. $10 million. For a brief moment, no one moved or spoke, as if time itself had paused to absorb the weight of what had just been said. When Teyana stood up, adjusted her blazer, and walked out of the courtroom with her lawyers following closely behind her, posture steady and her chin held high, the entire scene felt unreal, like something pulled straight from a movie. She never looked back, but it wasn't her exit that left people whispering after the court adjourned. It was Iman Shumpert's reaction. His hands trembled, his face drained of color, and then, right there in front of everyone, he broke down. No one expected things to go this far. No one imagined the divorce would become this emotional, this public, or this expensive. From the outside, their separation once seemed quiet and respectful, but what unfolded in court made it clear this wasn't a sudden decision or a simple breakup. It was the result of years of frustration, sacrifice, imbalance, and unresolved. Pain finally coming to the surface. When the judge delivered the ruling, it didn't feel like the end of a case. It felt like the final chapter of a story that had been unraveling long before the public noticed. To understand how it reached this point, you have to look past the Instagram perfect videos, the red carpet smiles, and the carefully curated family moments. You have to understand what their marriage looked like behind closed doors: the arguments, late-night disagreements, unspoken resentment, and the quiet financial pressure that slowly changed everything. At one point, Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert looked unstoppable. They were the couple everyone rooted for, the creative dream team, the power duo. Teyana was the artistry, the vision, the style. Iman was the athlete, the confidence, the protector. Together, they had an energy that felt solid and unbreakable. What the public didn't see was how much Teyana was carrying behind the scenes. She was filming, recording, directing, choreographing, creating, touring, and being a full-time mother. All at once, she wasn't just contributing. She was holding everything together. When Teyana later spoke about feeling unappreciated, it wasn't only emotional, it was financial and practical. While Iman had significant moments in his basketball career, his income was not always consistent. There were injuries, contract uncertainties, career shifts, and long pauses. Each time life threw a curveball, it was Teyana who stepped up quietly and consistently, without seeking praise or public acknowledgement. Inside the courtroom, all of that finally came to light. People seated in the gallery said they had never seen so many documents presented in one case. Teyana's legal team arrived with neatly labeled folders detailing marital assets, financial contributions, household expenses, child-related costs, and long-term responsibility. As the folders were opened, layers of a private story began unfolding, one the public had never fully understood. Iman walked into the courtroom visibly nervous, rubbing his hands together, avoiding eye contact, whispering to his lawyer. Every mention of money made him shift in his seat. Every figure read aloud seemed to weigh heavier than the last. Teyana, in contrast, remained calm and composed. She wasn't cold or angry. She looked finished. She barely moved or reacted, as though she had already grieved their relationship long before stepping into the room. The turning point came when Teyana's lawyer stood and explained how their finances truly worked over the years. There were no dramatic accusations, only fact dates, numbers, receipts, and payment histories. The lawyer detailed the bills Teyana covered when Iman's income slowed, the household expenses she paid alone, the investment she funded to keep their lives stable, and the time she worked through exhaustion because someone had to hold everything together. According to those present, the judge was visibly shocked, not because Iman was painted as irresponsible, but because the extent of Teyana's financial burden was far greater than anyone realized. When the comparison of their contributions was presented, the courtroom fell silent. Iman stared at the floor, shoulders stiff, hands clenched until his knuckles turned pale. When the judge asked if he wished to respond, he didn't lift his head at first. He took slow breaths, clearly struggling, to hold himself together. Then the judge delivered the ruling, stating that based on the evidence presented, Teyana Taylor was entitled to a financial settlement of $10 million. The number echoed through the room. Gasps followed. Iman's head snapped up, his eyes wide, his lips silently forming the word 10. When the reality fully sank in, he broke down. First his head dropped into his hands, then his shoulders began to shake. His lawyer leaned in, speaking softly, trying to steady him. Teyana never turned around. She stared straight ahead, her stillness reflecting acceptance rather than cruelty, the kind that comes after trying everything to save something already collapsing. As heavy as the financial ruling was, the emotional weight deepened when custody was discussed. When the judge asked about childcare responsibilities, Iman finally spoke. His voice cracked as he spoke about his love for his children, saying he needed them and wanted to be present in their lives. According to courtroom observers, he wiped his face, swallowed hard, and whispered, "Please don't take them from me." The room went still. Teyana didn't argue or accuse him. She calmly explained that she wanted stability, routine, and peace for the children, emphasizing that her priority was protecting their emotional well-being. The judge nodded, making it clear that the children's best interests would come before money, pride, or reputation. When the hearing ended, the energy shifted instantly. Reporters stood, lawyers gathered papers, and people whispered in disbelief. Teyana stood first, collected her belongings, straightened her blazer, and walked toward the exit without looking back. In the hallway, paparazzi shouted questions about the ruling and the settlement, but she didn't respond. She stepped into a black SUV and drove away, closing the chapter quietly. Inside the courtroom, Iman remained seated. His lawyer spoke softly, encouraging him to stand and breathe, but he wasn't ready. His life had shifted all at once, financially, emotionally, and structurally. The internet reacted immediately, with some saying Teyana deserved every dollar, others defending Iman, and many acknowledging that no one truly knows what happens behind closed doors. Sources say Iman is considering an appeal and has been struggling emotionally, feeling as though he lost everything at once. Meanwhile, those close to Teyana say she isn't celebrating or speaking publicly. She's focused on healing, protecting her children, and rebuilding the peace she lived without for too long. Insiders also claim there are sealed documents and undisclosed details that may never become public, reminding everyone that some endings are loud, others are quiet, and this one was both.